First, let's start off simple with the flute, and of course, the eyes are going to be on the head joint right around the hole. There's really no other place they could be, and they'd be staring at you the entire time you're playing, and probably judging you. Next up, we've got the clarinet, and of course, it's just one big eye in between the keys and the reed. Now, it will vary if it's on the front or back, but it's always there. If you accidentally poke the eye with your finger, the clarinet will squeak. Oboe is similar to the clarinet with one giant eye in between the reed and the keys, but if you spook this instrument or poke its eye, it will drop its reed the same way a lizard drops its tail. Now, the bass clarinet has two eyes that are slightly offset, one at the highest point of the neck and one at the lowest point. These googly eyes resonate really well with low frequencies, so if you play a low note, they will jiggle and rattle. Now, bassoon has one giant eye, but also many small eyes on every single key and hole, and you are expected to press your fingers onto them to play. The eyes do feel pain, and they will get an infection if you have dirty hands. Bass and contrabass flute also have eyes on every single key, and they're really susceptible to low frequencies, so if you do play too many low notes, they will rattle and or fall off. Contrabassoon and contrabass clarinet have one giant eye at the end of their bell, so it might spook some of your audience members. Most saxophones have one giant eye at the end of their bell, but soprano, soprillo, and sopranino all are completely blind and use echolocation. Subcontrabass sax does have a giant eye, but its low notes also let it communicate with whales. Sarrusophones have giant eyes at the tip where the reed's supposed to go, but they do get in the way of playing, so many sarrusophone players just pick them off. On the black market, you can actually buy sarrusophone eyes for 10 million apiece, but you didn't hear it from me. Now, trumpets have eyes on each end of the main tuning slide, and the eyes are pointed towards the person next to them, which often makes people uncomfortable. Now, French horns can have any number of eyes depending on how many rotors there are. There's one for the top and one for the bottom of each rotor. Now, trombones have one giant eye at the very end of their bell and one tiny one on that little rubber tip on their slide. Euphoniums and baritones just have two eyes next to the bell on their main tube. Now, tubas have a ring of eyes around the bell, and the number of eyes depends on the diameter of the bell. These eyes do shake a lot and sometimes fall off if you don't give them their eye drops every day. The ophicleide just has one giant eye near the top of the bell, and if you can see it, I vote we change the name to cyclophicleide and implement it into D&D. I don't play D&D, but that would be a terrifying enemy. Sousaphones have almost the biggest eye of any instrument, just at the end of the bell. It's terrifying. Bagpipes have one eye on the end of every drone. There's a misconception that there's also one on the chanter, but that's wrong. Now, accordions have an eye for every white key, and the black keys on the other side are actually the pupils of bassoon eyes that got poked out. This design was actually patented by the crazy brother of Weird Al Yankovic. Timpani are the only instrument with eyes bigger than sousaphones, with one on each head. Now, acoustic guitar has an eye in that hole right before the neck. Electric guitar has no hole, which means it's blind and also uses echolocation. Now, violins, violas, cellos, and basses all have eyes on each side of their tuning pegs. And of course, the final instrument, mayonnaise, has eyes like